Minsan, konnichiwa, Samurai Engineers. In this video, let us continue our discussion on building systems design. Previously, we know that this subject is about building design. So in the current new curriculum of 4-year engineering course, we have changed it to building system design according to CHED Civil Engineering CMO. So we are currently on part 5, module 25, which is about fire protection system. So the topic for the day is about calculating occupant load. So we will start with the discussion, describing it, explaining, and then giving real life example. So I'm your professor, Dr. Ipizatua, BS Civil Engineering, graduate of Taguig City University. And, currently faculty member of College of Engineering and Technology. So in part 5, it is about the building service system. So there are different building service systems. In this CHED CMO, they classify about 5. And actually, I think there are 7. However, since this is a CMO of CHED, I don't have any authority to change this. But just to describe it as a subject, I repeat, building system design, which is the study that examines building construction from the standpoint not only of architectural and building service systems, but also of life safety. So what I'm talking about from CHED-CMO is they indicated 5 different service systems: lighting systems, mechanical systems, plumbing systems, electrical, communication and security systems, and fire protection systems. So they missed out something like sanitary. So there is what we call sanitary systems and sound or audio. There are systems that I know in practice, in personal experience, that we have to control the sound. For example, in a building with auditorium. So right now, I have a background, which is a webinar, a seminar in the auditorium with too much audio. Okay. So the audio is controlled beautifully. That's why it goes a long way. With a very small amount of energy, we can actually efficiently broadcast a very good quality of audio, like in our auditorium, in our background. However, it is not mentioned here. So there are 2 that are not mentioned in CHED-CMO: the audio control and the sanitary system. Anyway, we are actually in particular focused on fire protection system. So let us just talk about that. So module 25 is about fire protection system, which involve 5 subtopics about introduction and general requirements. Number 2, elements of means of egress. Number 3, occupant loads. Number of receipts. Number 4, design and arrangement of passive features. And number 5, analysis and design of passageways, walkways, doorways, exit stairs, corridors, and mall spaces. And currently we are on number 3, which is about occupant loads and number of exits. In this topic, calculating occupant loads, the design of the building's egress system is critical to ensuring everybody can safely evacuate in the event of fire. We will use an example to illustrate this method for determining occupant load based on the life safety code. And at the end of this discussion, the student must be able to A, calculate the occupant load, able to B, determine how many exits are required and how wide they have to be, and lastly, letter C, design the occupant load capacity of a building. So we'll start with letter A. So let's discuss what is occupant load. What does it mean, and what its difference from building capacity or egress capacity of the building. Technically, occupant loads, or OL in short, is the capacity of means of egress for any floor, balcony, stairs, or other occupied spaces. And it shall be determined by dividing the floor area by the occupant load factor assigned to that use. So this statement can be converted to a very simple formula. OL is equal to floor area divided by over occupant load factor. Let us illustrate this calculation in terms of a given example. We have here a floor plan on the left, wherein the floor plan have several rooms. We can identify at least 4 different types of rooms. Conference room is the room on the upper left hand side of your screen. On its lower portion, we have call center room, and the biggest part of the room is what we call the open space, open office. So, and there are small meeting rooms of about 6 of them. For this example, we can directly refer to table 7.3.1.2 to determine occupant load factor. This is the step 1 in solving the egress capacity of a building, of a floor space. So let us decide on units. In this example, we will use SI unit because the given is in terms of meters. As you can see, the extreme dimension of the floor area is 61.5 meters by 30 meters. So it is in terms of SI unit. So let us use the SI unit column of the table 7.3.1.2, wherein we can find out that the unit is square meter per person. So one by one, let us again select the overload factor, occupant load factor. So step 2, some needs to be classified with respect to areas. So we need to estimate some room areas in order for us to classify it properly, taking out the appropriate value from the table. For example, in this particular floor plan, we have occupant load factor for small meeting rooms, which gives us several classification from the table. As you can see, small meeting rooms is a business usage. So business uses, if you can see, there are main uses from the table: assembly use, business use, daycare use, detention, correctional use, educational use, healthcare use, industrial use, mercantile use. In this main sub-classification, you can see that maybe the small meeting rooms could be classified as business use or mercantile use. It is not assembly use, it is not daycare, it's not detention, it's not educational, it's not healthcare, it's not industrial. So we are left with two different classifications: business use and mercantile use. However, in this particular code, mercantile is a type of business which displays the product. Okay, there is a display, and this is the place where the actual selling of goods happens. Okay, while on the given small meeting rooms, it is just meeting place for employees. There is no actual selling of goods that will happen in that area. So therefore, we will reject the mercantile use and proceed with business use. In business use, there are 4 different classifications, wherein we can see collaboration use, concentrated business use, and so on. So small meeting rooms is about collaborative meeting efforts. So it is within this part, collaboration room, but there are again 2 different classifications of collaboration rooms. Those with 41.8 square meter and below, and 41.8 square meters and bigger or larger. So let us find out what is our small meeting rooms all about. It is about 12.5 meter by 9 meter. Okay, so as an estimate, it is more than 41.8 square meter. However, it is stated here, and as you can observe, there are 6 small meeting rooms. As you can see, there are 6 doors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6. So if you divide this space to 6 different small rooms, we can say that it is less than 41.8 square meter per room. So therefore, we will use the part of the table which specifically states collaboration room with less than 41.8 square meters in area, and that is about what, 2.8 square meter per person as the occupant load factor. Okay, let us bear that in mind and go to step 2, wherein we actually select the overload factor, starting with conference room. So what is conference room? Conference room is a place wherein there are plenty of people listening to discussion or participating in a discussion. Okay, so therefore, conference room is somewhat like an assembly of people. So assembly use. Okay, so can we say that? So there are several classification under assembly use: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are about 16 different types. As you can see, all of the 16, you can pick about 1 and 2. There are about 2, again, that could classify our own assembly use. Those are concentrated use, number one, and number two, less concentrated use. Okay, because our floor plan indicated no fixed seatings, so therefore these two are possible candidate. Okay, but we need to decide which one of the two. It is concentrated use or less concentrated use. So as a designer, we have to confer with the building owner or the business owner, for which we can ask questions and gain some knowledge of the actual use of this assembly collaborative group. So assuming that we already done that, because we are on the design stage, we already asked a specific question to owners in order for us to use those information as constraints, as design constraints, so that we can develop a plan. So by that assumption, let us just pick the value 1.4 square meter per person that would classify our space as less concentrated use, basing on from the fact that we already know it with a discussion with the owner of the building. Okay, so in this particular example, let us assume that happened. Okay? So therefore, 1.4 square meter per person for our conference room. So next is about open space. So open space is again a business use. Okay, general business use. So we have what in our table again. This is business use about 14, no? 14. So this is 14 square meter per person. Okay, business use. And the third one is about call center. Okay, call center room is again a business use. There is no direct selling of goods and services there. So let us classify that room from the table. We can say that it is call center. It may be what, a concentrated business use. Okay, one call center agent is actually sitting side by side and back to back with other call center agents. So you can imagine this space in real life as some sort of internet cafe. So 4.6 square meter per person as our occupant load factor. And lastly, we have small meeting rooms, which we already discussed and estimated. So we have what? Collaboration room, which is 2.8 square meter per person. So after selecting the proper value from the table, so we have to go to step 3, which is to compute the gross floor areas. So let us compute the gross floor areas, and in general, that is the case unless otherwise specifically required to compute the net floor areas. So let us do that. That is step 3. So let us start with the conference room. As you can see, the area is 15.5. Okay, I'm talking about the conference room. That's the room on your upper left-hand corner. So 15.5 by 22.5. That is the dimension of the room. However, as you can see, there are cabinets on two sides, okay, with dimension 1.5 meters. So let us subtract the areas for cabinets so that we are left with the proper area of the conference room. That is 22.5 meters minus 1.5 meter. Okay, that is our length multiplied by the width, which is 15.5 meter minus 1.5 meters. And that product would be what? 21 meters by 14 meters, which is equal to 294 square meters. Okay, so that is our step 3. Okay, and we can follow it up with the step 4 of the process, wherein we can calculate the occupant load of this particular room. Okay, 294 square meter divide by, okay, remember the formula? Occupant load is floor area divided by occupant load factor. So occupant load factor is 1.4 square meter per person. So 2.294 divided by 1.4 is equal to 210 people. So you can always round up to the nearest units digit. Okay, round up to the unit digits. Okay? So in this case, 210 people. So let's go to the next one, which is open office. So in open office, we have the dimension of the room, which is what? 61.5 minus 15.5, that is 46 meters. And the width is 30 meters minus 8 meters. So that is 30 meters. We don't need to subtract 8 meters because all of these space are, all of the half of the spaces for open space, open office. So 30 meters by 46 meters, that is about 1,380 square meters. Let us subtract the footprints of the floor for small meeting rooms, and that is 12.5 meters by 9 meters. So 1380 square meter minus 12.5 meter by 9 meters, that is 1,267.5 square meters. Therefore, we can apply the occupant load factor by dividing that floor area. So therefore, 1267.5 divided by 14, we have 91 persons. So 91 persons, the occupant load for open office. Let's go to the third one, which is the call center room, where we have 8 meters by 15.5 meters, which is equal to 124 square meters. 124 square meter divided by our occupant load factor, which is 4.6, that is equal to 27 people. Okay, and lastly, on number 4, small meeting rooms, again we have 12.5 meter by 9 meter, which is the total footprint of all of the 6 meeting rooms. That is 112.5 square meter, divide by 6, so that we can have the area for one unit of meeting room, 18.75 square meter, which is less than, as we estimated from previous step, less than 41.8 square meter. And therefore, we can only use what? The collaboration room spaces with less than 41.8 square meter, which is 2.8 square meter per person. So therefore, 18.75 square meter divided by 2.8 square meter, that is equal to 6.7 people. Round up, so let us round up to the nearest digit, that is 7 people per room. And there are 6 different small meeting rooms, so 7 times 6, that is 42 people. Okay, so this means that we already finished proceeding with the process step 1 to 4. And on our step 5, we have to calculate the total occupant load. So conference room 210, call center 27, open office 91, small meeting rooms 42. Adding all of them, we get a total 370 persons. So the occupant load for this floor space is 370 persons. And by that is the end of our module on calculation of occupant load. Again, this is Dr. AP, preaching engineering for nation building.